All right, everyone, this is Norvellcentral coming back at you with another YouTube video. And this is going to be kind of a quicker video, but I just want to go over some of the guys that Florida State is kind of trending well towards. And this kind of circulates between the four-star quarterback Brock Glenn from Memphis, Tennessee. He actually got crystalballed to Florida State twice. And this is a situation where Florida State is in kind of a weird situation because they do have Chris Parson that's committed to the program. I know he's a four-star prospect out of Tennessee. And there is a lot of good coming out of this. Florida State wants to get two quarterbacks in this class. And I won't get too much into the Chris Parsons situation because I've already discussed it in another video. But I do believe that Chris Parson is making the best decision for him. But I also understand that Florida State is able to try to get those two quarterbacks in the system. We don't know what's going to happen with Jordan Travis. So you want to figure out different ways and effective ways to be able to get your quarterbacks in there, compete at a high level, and see who wins that starting job. But Florida State is trending in a good direction for a number of prospects. I mean, we got Lucassimmons that recently committed to the program, and him with Roger Kearney is a dynamic duo that is very, very impressive. They'll probably add one more. They may add two, just kind of depends on how everything plans out. But they got a guy like Jordan Hall, the defensive tackle, four-star out of Jacksonville, that is very, very much involved and kind of situated there. You got Samuel Singleton, the running back out of Florida. I think he's a very, very talented running back that officially visited in the last weekend of June. So that's going to be something Florida State's going to have there. He hasn't been crystal balled there just yet, but he has talked about in several interviews that he wants to kind of decide in July, maybe early August, kind of depends on his timetable. But he announced that he may take a visit to Penn State. That may be kind of the holdup with everything. But I do believe that Singleton is kind of on Florida State's #1 target list in terms of running backs. And I do believe the interest is mutual. But another guy I want to talk about is Wilkie Denaud, the Fort Pierce defensive end. He's a four-star as well. That's a guy that Florida State's been on for some time. And I'm kind of surprised he hasn't committed already or made his intentions known or had a decision timetable. It really has been kind of quiet on that end so far. But I do believe Florida State is the leader in that regard. I do think that they are a situation where Florida State is sitting pretty in that recruitment. And then you got a guy like Tavion Gadsden, who I discussed before. He's kind of that Swiss Army knife. I believe he's more of a comparable to Dennis Briggs. I think he's a versatile defender that can play either the defensive tackle position, strong defensive end. I think he brings a lot to the table as a three-star prospect. He's at an 87 composite, but I do believe that's going to go up in certain time. I think he may be closer to that 89 composite. He may be a low four-star before it's all said and done, but he's out of the Georgia area. But super excited to see where he goes. But everybody's kind of, I guess, worried about the recruiting rankings so far. And, I mean, when you look at it, I mean, Florida State's at 34th in the country. So there's a lot of good news coming out of that. And when you calculate in Jordan Hall, Singleton, Denaud, you also got Brock Glenn and Gaston, you talk about those five prospects that you basically brought in and are going to be adding because they are trending to Florida State. If you were to add those people, we are looking at a 227.68 composite score. And that's very good with Florida State going forward there because you know what that means? A 227.68, if you scroll all the way up to the rankings so far, as of right now, Miami has a 231.95 ranking at the 10th spot. And then you also have Oklahoma that's at 223.30. So they're going to be at that 11th spot if they do decide to do that. Now, recruiting is a little bit different that, there'll be some commits, there'll be some decommits. But I wouldn't really worry too much about it, because when you're looking at some of these programs that are on top of here, you're looking at a program like Arkansas. They've already got 21 commits, and they're 8th in the country. You look at, even some other schools like Cincinnati. They got 20 commits. They've got, basically 17 3-stars and 3 4-stars. Texas Tech, Northwestern, Iowa, West Virginia, Michigan State. Michigan State's done a pretty good job on the trail so far. So, we'll see how that system goes out. But Duke, I mean, they got 24 3-stars and 25 commits total. And they've already capped out, and they've already got to the 25th class in the country. So you're looking at some of these programs, and, some of these programs are going to fall off. Now, it all depends on whenever we talked about the last time. Florida State has to produce on the field. So if they're able to do that in an effective manner and they're able to kind of showcase their skill on the field, I think Florida State can be in a really good situation. I mean, that's just 5 commits that I have even talked about, and Florida State would be at 16 commits. And you're looking at 10 4-stars, and then 5 3-stars and 1 unranked player. But I'm just telling you now that Vandrevius Jacobs will probably be a low 4-star. He's at an 88 composite right now. He's been really impressive. I don't know what's going to happen quite with Goldie Lawrence yet. I think he may be at that 88, 89 range. Gadsden, like I said, maybe that 88, 89. Quindarius, I think he's going to be a lot higher. Some composites have him at 86 right now because he's committed to a Power 5 program, but I think he might be around that 88, 89 range. DeMarco Ward, I think he should be about that 86, 87. Right now he's at the 84. He's got to go a little bit bigger, like I discussed in my commitment video for that. And then Jaden Jones, he's an unranked JUCO prospect in 247 composite, but when you look at other outlets, he's a 3-star JUCO player. But the thing with Jaden Jones is he hasn't started at his JUCO yet. He was able to redshirt last year, and he's able to kind of get that experience this year. So I do think that he's going to be a 3-star when it's all said and done. That's going to add about 5 more composite points to that. So when you're looking at some of these rankings, I wouldn't base everything off of rankings. Sure, rankings do matter, and that's a good evaluation of what prospect you're bringing in. But Florida State's got 3 superstars, technically 4 if you really want to count some other guys in there as well. You got Keldrick Falk, who's a very, very talented player. Lucassimmons, Roger Kearney, KJ Sampson, Lamont Green Jr. I mean, those are 5 guys that are very, very, very impressive. I think they are kind of your building blocks for this class going forward. We'll see how Chris Parson pans out, and we'll see if, some other guys kind of pan out later on in the class. But, man, Florida State's got a good foundation to build on, and I do like where they're going right now with their recruiting class. I know a lot of fans were kind of worried early on. I know the Desmond Rick situation was kind of a downgrade, I guess you could say, to some Florida State fans, and some fans chose violence over that. But you have to realize that this staff is doing all they can. I think they're doing a really good job of what they've been given, and I think their record kind of indicates that they probably shouldn't be recruiting as good as they are, but they are at this point. I think they're doing a pretty decent job. I think they got to get some more targets in here and get some more targets at certain positions, but I do believe that Florida State's on the right track and being able to get around a 8 to 12 recruiting ranking, and I do think that that's really attainable if you think about a 7 or an 8 win season. I do think that, like I said, I think Mike Norvell's got a good chance. They've got 8 returning offensive starters and 8 returning defensive starters, and I think this team is very talented to do so, and I think they can showcase that product on the field that recruits really, really love and want to see. But if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, click that bell, and make sure you always get notified for whenever a video becomes live. And I just really appreciate everyone for all the love and the support on my Instagram account, my Twitter account, my Facebook, everything. I'm just trying to put out as much content as I can. I'm doing a little bit of work on 5th quarter as well, trying to write some articles. So be sure to go check those out as well. I also have a SeatGeek code, NorvellCentral. If you're looking for anything seat related, ticket related, any games that you want to go see, you can be able to go do so. You can get $20 off of your first order on SeatGeek, so that's really impressive to see there, and I'm very excited to have that ambassadorship with SeatGeek. They've been really good to me so far, and I think Florida State is going to be worth your while to go see in Doak Campbell Stadium. There's nothing like Chief Osceola planting the spirit midfield and hearing all those fans, but it's going to be super exciting this season, and I cannot wait. And I know Tribe 23 is ready to erupt, and I think that they're going to have a great turnout with the recruiting class. Don't forget that the recruiting event is going to take place on July 30th, and that's going to be a big event for Florida State to kind of get its eggs in a basket and kind of get everything jumbled together so that way some big recruits can come in there on campus and really showcase the lifestyle and just how Florida State gets it done. But as always, thank you all for watching, and as always, go Noles.